Okay, so this is lesson 3 of Python for data analysis. The first thing I want you to do, as always, is open up a terminal window. And this might be the terminal app on your Mac or Linux machine, or maybe the Git Bash shell on your Windows machine. And then you can open up a web browser. And we're going to go to GitHub/Cuttlefish with 2 H's / Python for data analysis with dashes. So maybe you have this bookmarked already, or it's in your history. And I'll make that bigger. So again, this is the GitHub for the page. We can use these handy little links I put in here, so you can click on the lesson schedule. This will scroll down to the bottom, and we can click on lesson 3. Actually, let's do something else. So let's hit the back button, and let's open up lesson 2 and 3. So this should work on most any browser. If you hit the command, or on the Mac, it's the command button. Hold the command button and then click. That should open up a new tab in the background, and then click on lesson. That was lesson 2, and then click on lesson 3. So now we've got the main GitHub page, and then we've also got lesson 2 and lesson 3. So briefly, I just wanted to go over what we covered last time, because we're going to build on that today. So we covered. We got you all set up on your different operating systems, and then we covered, I'll just go down to some of the commands. So we covered how to move between directories using the pwd to see your current directory, ls to list directory contents, and cd to change into a directory. We looked at absolute and relative paths. So a relative path is where this other file or folder is in relation to where you're currently working, where your current working directory is. And then an absolute path is from the root, which is this big slash at the beginning, at the top of your hard drive, all the way down to where you are. That's an absolute path. We covered making and removing directories, the touch, and the cat file. Remember, the cat file is very diverse and can be dangerous if you're not sure, especially this cat to a file can overwrite a file, so we want to be careful with that. We can combine 2 files as well. We can copy and move files with the CP and MV files, and move is also used to rename a file. So the idea is that you're moving the file from one place in the directory to a different name in the same directory. That would be renaming a file. We covered removing files, and we did symbolic links. We also looked at how to look at files using less, head, tail, the word count command. We covered open, which can have functionality on the Mac, maybe not on your operating system. We also covered the file to get the file type, and the grep command to use a regular expression to search a file. And finally, we covered the man or manual page command, which gives the information about a command. We saw that the help command didn't work very well, so I'm replacing that here with just typing the command --help. That will typically give you some information. The which command shows the location of the command. History gives the past commands. Top will show current processes, and exit will exit out of the terminal session. And we covered some text editors also, and also customizing your bash shell. And some of you might have added this text to your .bash profile. And you'll see that you get some different functionality now with your session. That's all controlled by what's in this file. And then there's some stuff about Nano text editor. So were there any questions on any of the stuff we covered last time, now that you've seen it all one more time? Yeah.
Is there like a Command Z type thing? You do like cat overwrite something, but just want to revert?
Yes. So the question is there a way to undo a command? So the command for that would be Control C. Control C is really useful. You're going to use that a lot, and maybe I'll add that to the file here. So Control C will cancel. So if I do cat to, and I don't want to actually write that file, I can do Control C, and you'll see it'll print a little Control C symbol, but it also just exited out of that command, so nothing was done. You mentioned Control Z. That's actually a separate command that will run a command that's already, it'll push a command that's already running into the background. So for example, there's a command called sleep, which just waits for like a determined amount of seconds, so I can write sleep 10, and that will happen, and I can hit Control Z, and now that command has been paused, and I can type, this is all, by the way, not part of the stuff I was going to cover, but since you asked, I can type BG, and that'll run it in the background, and now, well, now it's done. It's slept for 10 seconds. So anyway, if there's a command that's running, so I could maybe I'll add this to the lesson, maybe for today. Since we're doing it now, I'll cover it now. So it's command, or rather Control Z, and then BG will send it to the background. The other option is you can do, I'll do sleep 5. You can type an ampersand at the end of the command, and that will, you can see it's running in the background, and now that, so this little notation here says that command has been, so here it stopped, and then we put it in the background, so now it's showing this plus sign. That means that command is now in the background, and then when it's done, it'll say done. And so same thing here with this ampersand. It says, okay, I'm going to run that in the background, so then it just prints out the process ID, and then when that one is done, it'll say done. So this can be useful if you your computer has multiple processors and multiple threads that you can run multiple commands at the same time, and they don't all use maybe the whole processor. So you can run a command, hit the and sign if it's going to take a while, and while that's running, you can do something else. Okay, so but don't worry too much about that. It's not critical. It's more of an advanced feature. But that's, so that, yeah, the Control C, I will make sure we add that to the lesson.